Holy crap. Hello everybody, and welcome to another Let's Play with me, your host Tim. And today we will be playing through The Legend of Blacksilver. Legend of Blacksilver, as you can have seen from that previous awesome introduction, beautiful music by the way, was made in 1988. It was the third game I think I bought with money I had gotten for my birthday or something of the sort. I was so super excited about this game because I had played Legacy of the Ancients. This game did not disappoint me. Legacy of the Ancients, as you know, if you've watched my other playthrough of that game, is my favorite game of all time. And I occasionally fire that game up every 4 years or so to play it, to remind myself what a beautiful, gorgeous game it was. So simple in design, yet did everything I ever wanted it. It was everything I wanted it to be. This game, technically, I suppose, is the better game. I say better, I'm using air quotes, because while it is better in almost every way, Legacy was my first video game I ever purchased, and will forever, in my heart, I'll be biased toward it. I love that game. This game has more dungeons than that game does, by 2. It has a huge amount of cities, much more than the first game does. The world will change as we adventure on it. There are more monsters. There are additional creatures in dungeons. These creatures have special abilities that other creatures do not have. They catch you off guard in certain ways. There are more mini-games. There are more things to see in the world. There are more options in combat, more weapons, more armor. There's a whole spell selection thing where you become proficient in certain spells. They went really all out here, and I love this game. All that said, I haven't played this game in many, many years. I had tried to play it a little bit about 3 years ago, before my house was burglarized, and I lost the recording at the time. I don't remember it very well, but I do have my old maps of everything except for the archives. I don't have any archive maps, so I'll probably have to map those out by hand, old school way, because there is no... I think there might be a compass in this game. I think you just get it. I don't think you have to pick it up. Maybe you have to pick it up from a dungeon like the first game. I can't remember. In any case, this will be a role-playing game, similar to the first game. We'll have a character, and he will walk around. There is an above world, and then there are dungeons. We will also get different scenes depending upon the villages that we go to. They did an amazing amount of stuff for this game, and this game fit on 2 double-sided floppy disks. Wow, I remember that. 4 disks total. An amazing amount of stuff was done back then with what they had. God bless the Doherty brothers. I love them. Okay, so I can't get Demonstrate Game to work. It simply will not work. I don't have a character saved. I haven't played this game. Again, it's been years. It's been many, many, many years since I beat the game. Probably last time I had beaten this was back in 1990 or so. So together, we'll be experiencing this more or less for the first time. Other than I did play it for a little bit a few years ago. I do have the maps, which will make the dungeons a little bit easier for me. Otherwise, you'd have to sit with me and go through the old school dungeoneering, which would be me passing turns as I'm trying to draw the dungeon on my graph paper here as we play. Alright, without further ado, let's go ahead and start a new game. Oh, we gotta insert my disc. Alright, I'll be right back, everybody. Okay, I think this is ready. Warning. Do you want to erase this disc and make it into a character disc? Yes. Okay, we gotta enter our character's name. Let's think. Well, I would normally go with Trimus, but Trimus is kind of already... Oh, Trimus is the name I use for my knights and clerics. This guy won't be either. I'd use Galvin. That's another favorite of mine. Yeah, let's use Galvin. Alright, we gotta start inserting other discs. You awake with a start. Your dreams seem so amazingly real. Princess Alea, daughter of the king of all Bantros, had come to you in search of a champion. Baron Taragas has found Blacksilver in his infernal mines, she said with a shudder, and I fear for us all. Blacksilver! A part of the ancient tales of evil, the power to raise mountains and drain the seas. My father raised a great army to march against Taragas, but was kidnapped before he could lead them. Now the noble wizard Cerovol has sent me to find a hero, possessed of the wisdom and inner courage to lift the shadow from our land. She paused, looking intently into your eyes, and then whispered, I choose you. Pressing something into the palm of your hand, she slipped out through the mists of your dream, her voice lingering long enough to say, Seek my brother in the castle. By my gift, he will know you. And now you sit in the pale light of the dawn, smiling at the grand dreams of a simple serf with fields to tend. Until you open your hand and see the feather. The fields can wait. Okay, everybody, here we are in the above world. This should look very familiar to you if you are at all familiar with Legacy of the Ancients. We are the figure in the center of the screen, that white humanoid-looking figure. As we don't do anything, we will begin passing our turns. We are currently standing in a swamp. We can see a forest below us. That's that kind of wavy green there. We can see some plains around. The big blue sections you can see are, looks like probably some lakes, and there's a desert to the south. If you didn't have the map of the world, you'd probably be a little confused as to what you need to do or where you need to go. Where we want to go, however, is more or less straight south, so we'll be doing that. I'm going to go over some of what else we see right here. We obviously have the command window there, which shows what we are attempting to do. You can see what action we have selected by looking at the left-hand side of the screen. All the actions are listed there. Armor. Oh, and they're all hotkeyed to the first letter of their name. So armor would be A. We are currently wearing our shoddy leather armor. We can disembark from boats there. You can end your... end, I think, actually quits the game, if I remember correctly. Fight will let us swing our weapon at something. Game speed will change how fast things are moving in the game. We're going to hit 3 and slow it down a little bit. Our inventory shows everything that we have, as well as our statistics. We are level Surf. Our leather armor is shoddy. We have 15 in Dex, Strength, Charisma, Intelligence, and Endurance, so we are not very dexterous, strong, charismatic. We can't endure very well, and we're not so smart. We have a Falcon Feather. We have no spells and no skills in any spells so far. Our magic would access any magic spells we have. Spells are kind of work like scrolls. You just cast scrolls all the time. Or you can, maybe they're burned into your memory or your mind or something like that. But you can only cast as many of them as you buy. Pass is just what we're doing right now, passing our turn. If we were in a dungeon or a castle, enemies would get a chance to move around and so on. Rob would let us try to steal something from somebody. Speak would allow us to talk to somebody. Use would allow us to use an item that we are holding on to. Weapon would allow us to equip a current weapon. We don't have a weapon at the moment. Examine shows the area we're in. We are in a swamp. We move at a decent average speed here, and we go through food at a medium rate. Plains and forests tends to be what you want to stick to. We'll also be encountering different creatures depending upon the type of terrain we're on. Swamp is swamp creatures, forest is forest creatures, etc., etc. Some creatures travel all the types of terrains. In any case, let's see if we can make it to the castle without dying. Oop, that's the wrong key. Okay, hold on a second. I gotta figure out what this is. Be right back. Okay, forgive me. It has been a long time. I am not using a Commodore keyboard, so I have to remember what keys move me in what directions. I think I got this, though. Yes, that's / semicolon. That would mean the comma is my right, and the bracket is my north movement. A blood pup! This was one of the few creatures described in the manual a long time ago. I think it killed the writer. It looks like a really cute like dachshund or basset hound, but its tongue is like razor sharp and slices everything that it runs up to lick happily, and then it laps up all the blood after it's done. We're gonna flee this creature. There we go. Oop, wrong direction. There's a castle. That's where we're going. Oh, our hit points are 200. We have 53 days of food and 20 gold. You can hear the surf whenever you're near the ocean. Wonderfully done for what they had. Oh, a snap fiend! I gotta try to... Okay, retreat. I have no weapon, so I can't really harm it. I want to say a spear is a good weapon against that guy. Enter a castle. Sure. Be right back. Welcome to a castle screen. This is one of the 3 fortresses, basically, we'll be visiting. Things work a little differently here. We won't really consume food unless we spend a really long time inside this castle. We can see the torches sitting next to us by examining. The castle, in the entrance, next to a flickering torch. These, I believe, are gardens. Oh, but we can't actually take a look at them. Ooh, look at that nice fountain. Next to a sparkling fountain. Anyway, you can hold down the keys and your character will just constantly move in that direction. You can also pass your turn. Those yellow people over there are guards. All guards in this game are yellow except when they're gray. That makes sense to me. Guards are normally not hostile to you unless you do something to them to get them angry, such as opening a cool treasure chest, like the ones I think are over here somewhere. Yeah, here's a treasure chest right here. Next to a treasure chest. We don't have permission to open these, so we won't do so. Oh, here's a door. Let's see. Can we examine this? The castle in the commons next to a door. The treasure chests some of them have fixed treasure, others have random amounts in it. Fixed treasure can be anything from archive gems, which we'll discover those later. They can also be silver coins used to improve our magic abilities when we find a person who can use them, in addition to keys or other such items. Gold, whenever we find that, can be a random amount of it. I think some treasure chests might have like healing potions or other items in them too. I'm not that familiar with it. Oh, this is a creature's stuffed head next to a stuffed animal head. This is a really nice castle. I like the floors. You'll probably hear me hitting the keyboard a lot here. Ooh, look at that boar. It's a blue boar. Must be ice boars. Some nice flowers. Hello there. Can we speak to the guards? Let's try that. I see you have the feather. Why not use it? That's a good idea. Here's how you use items in this game. We hit use. It says, which one do you want to use? We want to use our falcon feather, which will unlock the door.